How to become a vampire. Vampire cults have existed for several years, but the majority of these cults are filled with members who display vampire-like activity, such as drinking human blood and hiding from sunlight. These cult members are, however, distinctly human, simply mimicking the behavior of vampires as this was, until recently, the closest a human could get to vampirism. The details of how to become a real vampire have only recently come to light. Many of the ancient myths appear to be true, while others are still in question. In the Vampire Bible, ancient scribes describe the only known way that a human can become a vampire. As the following excerpt from that book details, it takes more than just a bite to become a vampire. Becoming a vampire means sharing all their benefits and drawbacks, but what are those anyways? Vampires can only live at night, they have to drink blood to survive, and otherwise vampires are immortal. Although there are many different kinds of vampires described in books, those facts seem to be the most common attributes used to distinguish a vampire from a mere human. Living only at the night might sound not so bad at first, but have you ever felt the warmth of the first shafts of sunlight in spring, when they brush your skin and make you feel all alive and warm and happy? This will never ever happen again. If you want to become a vampire, drinking blood obviously means either to kill or at least to harm human beings. Would you really want to do that? If so, you might consider visiting a martial arts school where you can do so without the sacrifices that come with being a vampire. For being immortal, which might sound great at first, do you really want to live forever? Because after only about 100 years, everyone you've ever known will be dead, friends and family as well. And even if you do get to know new people, they will die rather sooner than later. In fact, it might be you ending their life. That is, if anyone is ever going to be a real friend again, because of the very nature of your own being. Most people would be afraid to be in the same room as a real vampire, somebody they know to be a predator, and the rest, well, they most likely are going to try to make you transform them. Hence they'd say and do anything to make you believe they like you, although they most likely don't. And you can't be friends with somebody being dishonest, can you? In the end, you will be very, very lonely either way. Since your life goes on and on, it won't take you long to have done just about anything that can be done at night, that is, which means your existence will be very, very boring very fast. And although having all the time in the world might seem to solve all your problems at once, it will only drag them on forever and ever. Hence, do you really want to become a blood-sucking, bored, lonely animal? If your answer is yes, the odds are very small to succeed on your journey becoming a real vampire. First of all, you have to find a real vampire, which alone is highly unlikely, since even if vampires do exist, they are obviously very good at hiding. Hence, if you do find someone saying that she is a vampire, chances are she is a fraud. And if you really do find a real vampire, you have to convince him to transform you rather than killing you or just taking a little bite, which brings us back to the friend-finding problem described above, which is very hard to accomplish because most likely the only reason you get to know a real vampire is because she is hungry, and as stories go, there is almost nothing that can stop a hungry vampire from killing his prey. Some people claim to know spells to become a vampire, but honestly, if anybody would know those, he wouldn't give them away. Either he is a vampire himself, then he probably wouldn't want other predators around to share his prey, and even if he would, why choose you over all the other available candidates? Or she is no vampire, and then she definitely wouldn't want to make herself a prey. Hence, I highly recommend that you do not try to become a real vampire and just choose the convenient other option, which means to become a vampire because you want to be cool. If that's what you want, becoming a vampire is far more easy and way more pleasant. Just go ahead and dress all black, listen to black or heavy metal or classical music, never watch TV, eat a lot of meat, especially close to raw beef, buy some musk and wear a discreet amount of it every day, use crisp black eyeliner even if you are a guy, stay indoors most of the time for a pale look, cover your windows with heavy black satin curtains, wear contact lenses preferably in red or yellow. If you really want to go for it, wear false fangs as well, but be aware that people will tend to consider you as wacko rather than cool. Once you become a vampire, you cannot turn back, so choose wisely, my friend.